Good afternoon, everyone. My name's Angelo Vallillo. I'm the creative director at DNA Art Space in Nottingham. I'm also the Project X mentor. I'm super excited today to introduce you two of my students, April and Verity. We're going to be talking a lot about their personal journeys, get to know a little bit about them, what their experience has been so far with Project X, even though it's been very, very short. But I can assure you that I hope so, they've took on a lot and they've implemented what they've already learned into their day-to-day life. So we'll get an idea of what makes them guys tick and why they're part of the fellowship and why they think it's amazing. So I just want to introduce you both to my lovely guests. Hi guys, how you doing? You all right?
Hi.
Hi, good, thank you.
Really good.
Good. So
You okay?
I'll start with. Yeah, I'm good, thank you, darling. Yeah, really, really good. Just trying to stay busy and motivated and inspired. So
Yeah.
hopefully that's what we're going to do today. We're going to inspire everyone today, and motivate and encourage everyone to stay positive in this
Definitely.
time of need. So
Yeah.
I'm going to start
Yes.
with April. So what I'm going to do, girls, I'm going to go into again firing some questions. I want to get to know you both first. I know you both. The reason why I chose you two because you're both in different stages in your career. So I want the guys to really understand, about you personally and what drives you and what makes you tick. So we'll start with April. So do you want to introduce yourself, darling, and tell everyone what you're about and where you are?
Of course, thank you. So I'm April Mash and I am 21 years old. I work at a salon in Leigh-on-Sea called Strange Ways. So I started there at the age of 16 to start my hairdressing career. I did all my training there, and then last year I graduated as a stylist on the shop floor. So it's officially been a year this month that I have been a stylist there. Obviously, unfortunately, the last few months I haven't been able to obviously experience that. But I've really grown there as a stylist, and actually the fellowship have been a huge part of my journey, training and becoming where I am today.
Amazing. Verity?
Yeah, great. Hi, so I'm Verity Olivenshaw. I work at Tint in Leeds. I've been hairdressing since I was 16. I've been at Tint for 3 years, and that's self-employed, which has given me a little avenue, another journey. And I've been on the fellowship obviously for 2 months, which has been cut short, but we've got next year. So yeah.
It's amazing. It's really, really interesting there, obviously listening to you both, and you like when I was saying you're both your different stages. It's like April, you're obviously employed by Strange Ways, which is Martin. Is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah, who's an amazing
yeah,
artist in
that's
his own
right.
right. Yeah, so I know
Yeah.
Martin well, and then obviously you're with Tim, which
Yeah.
is well, he's your boss. He was on the fellowship. He's been on
Guy,
the project,
which
hasn't he?
is Matthew Sutcliffe.
Matthew
And
Sutcliffe,
Zach as
amazing.
well. Yeah.
So they've got an amazing place in Leeds, and that's self-employed. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, which
So
is
everyone there is
completely
self-employed.
different because I've never done anything like that before.
So for you, April, how did you get into Project X on your journey with the fellowship?
So I'd been a fellowship member for the last couple of years, and definitely took to my full advantage attending all the events they provide just to go and sort of experience and see what it was that the fellowship has to offer. So then last year in 2019, I was part of the Club Star Art team. So that was my first sort of journey, full journey with the fellowship. It was really the most incredible year I've ever experienced. And of course, I didn't want that journey to end. So then I took the opportunity to apply for Project X and was lucky enough to obviously become a member of the team this year. And I just knew if it was anything like the experience that I had last year, it was only going to make my hairdressing journey just grow and grow from there, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. I think when I was obviously I picked the team, and the biggest thing that stood out for me was your commitment to the fellowship. Your journey in the previous years, and I think that's really important for anyone out there wanting to get involved with the fellowship. It is to kind of to immerse yourself, especially as a young artist at the beginning, because the journey from the club star all the way up to Project X, even then you've got the color, and then you've got the fame team. I mean, the ultimate goal is to get on the same team. So if you go through the
Yeah.
system, you've got more of a chance, and you can tell that when you first came in that you've got the fellowship kind of DNA in you. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? You can see you've gone through the ranks, and it's really been refreshing to kind of work with you on them 2 days and get to know you. The way you hold yourself, you can tell presentation skills are great, so you can really see them coming through, which is amazing, and a massive credit to the fellowship to kind of you got to take your hats off them how they're producing these young artists, which is amazing. One of the main reasons why I got on board as well. So it's an absolute pleasure to have you on board with
Yeah.
us. And then
Thank you.
Verity, so the interesting thing is, I know it's the self-employed thing. I mean, I take my hats off to you when I was, you know, when I had all the list of people and all the applicants and stuff, and I think you was the only one that was self-employed, and that was
Yeah.
one of the other reasons why I went to you as well, because I was just like, okay, because I've been self-employed in the past, and you know,
Mm.
I don't know if the salons are different now, but you kind of left on your own a little bit creatively.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was really, really brave of you, and I just thought it was really refreshing that someone in your position was, you know, willing to kind of take that step. So, do you want to tell the guys a little bit
Yeah.
why you did that? And
I just feel like for me, I like to be part of a team, even though I am we're all team players at Tint. It's just nice to kind of branch out and meet new people, and you just never know like what sort of opportunities you get. I love going down to London for one, so I think that was a big thing for me. And it sounds silly, but I think if even if it were in Leeds, the fellowship, I would still go for it. But I think it's exciting once a month, going on a little
hmm,
adventure sort of thing. Um, Obviously, you're great as a mentor, and yeah, it's great. It's really good, really good. But you feel a
yeah,
bit more not prouder, but I just think when you fund it, it's just not a next level of commitment, but you just work hard for it, I
yeah,
suppose.
yeah, absolutely. I think it's funny. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm sure we can all agree. It is kind of like a quick little family that was formed very, very quickly.
yeah,
I mean, I
Definitely.
remember. I mean,
it's
I
really
mean, what
nice.
like the first day we got there, it was just kind of we just all homed in on each other. We kind of was all on the same page,
Yeah,
which was incredible. So guys, just from the first day, I'll start with and we'll go to Verity. We'll start with you. What did you get from the first day, and what did you take away? How did it make you feel? What you know the structure of it.
yeah.
How did it benefit you?
I think obviously for first off, all meeting each other can be quite daunting in a way. But obviously we are like a bit of a family now. But I just feel like just like the presentation, like I know every time we've been like once a month we have to do a presentation, which obviously like keeps you going. Like obviously people are a little bit nervous about speaking in front of others, so I think that's helped massively actually, just with confidence.
Amazing. And
Yeah,
yourself, April?
Yeah, I think the day was really well planned and scheduled. I think obviously we was all really excited to finally meet each other after speaking over WhatsApp. And I think it's really nice to just see everyone's friendly faces and get to know each other. And
yeah,
definitely the way the day was planned with sharing our skills, like none of us had even met each other before, but I think as a group we really began to gel and sort of recognise everyone's strengths and weaknesses and how we could just help each other as a team. And as much as we've only had 2 days together, I think you can tell throughout the WhatsApp chat and when we are together, the bond that we will have through the
yeah.
creative skills that we share.
And we're all there for
Yeah,
the same reason, which is nice.
yeah, absolutely. I think for those of you listening, it's the first day was very much an intro day, and we kind of mapped out what we was going to do throughout the year. And what was important for me as a mentor was to try and get an idea of everyone's an individual in their own right, so we all have a different vision. So it was really important for me to get an idea of what you guys wanted from the year and try and give you that, because not everyone wants the same thing, and that's the beauty about the Project X team. I think we're all at different stages, and we all have different strengths. So on that first day, it was very much about getting an idea of where we are skill wise, what we want to improve, what we want to achieve afterwards. And I think I mean I was blown away by the level of the standard of everyone. I mean, the presentation skills. I mean, it's funny because everyone comes in and they're like, "Oh my God, I hate presentating and all this," and then I'm just
Yeah.
like, when you guys do it, I'm like, you guys are just, what are you on about? Do you know
I
what I
think
mean?
it's just getting up
But
there and doing it.
yeah, exactly, and it's important for me to create the right environment for you to do that. So that was really good. But
Yeah.
no, it was a great day. So you'd say the presentation for you was one of the main things that stood out.
Yeah.
And what about you, April? What did you think? What did you take away from the day?
Yeah, I mean, I think the first day it was, I think it doing them presentations really does make you realise that there isn't anything to be nervous about. And I think we were all so nervous, and once we'd done it, we realised that we really didn't need to be. And I think once we'd paired up with each other and sort of worked together to recognise each other's skills, everyone in the room, it was such a nice vibe. And I think actually, once you realise you're a part of a team and you're all in it for the same reasons, that actually,
Yeah,
once we have these days over the year, we're all going to benefit so much, and everyone's going to realise sort of why we're here and what we can gain from the experience.
But like how much we've
yeah,
gained after only 2 days. Can you imagine a whole year? Like it's
It's
exciting.
yeah, absolutely. I was super excited. I'm still super excited because I know we're going to continue this next year, and I know the whole team's on board, which is amazing. It's a massive commitment again from you guys. But yeah, I suppose you just have to stay positive and not let these things
Yeah.
affect you. Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we've still got all our goals to achieve that we want to achieve. So we're not going to let this
Yeah.
definitely,
rain on our parade, as they say.
it'll
Yeah.
just be a bit
Okay, so day
delayed.
two then. Yeah, exactly. So day two, what do you want to tell the guys a little bit about day two? Go on, April. Do you want to kind of tell us about what happened and that sort
Yeah,
of
of
thing and what you
course.
learned?
Yes, of course. So day two was at the GHD Academy, and it was all about session styling. This for me was a real eye opener. It's not something within my 4 year hairdressing career that I've actually experienced yet. So it was something I was really excited for. And of course, with it being our second day together, just the vibe in itself was just a great start to
Yeah.
the day. Just experiencing and getting an insight as to what the session stylist world is about was a real eye opener. And I think that day for me, I left feeling so inspired and just sort of really opened my mind up as to where I want to go from here as a stylist. And I think actually it was great timing. Little did we know that lockdown was coming, but I think with the whole lockdown experience and thinking about our career, that day really sort of helped me realize sort of what I want to invest my time to and sort of
Yeah.
find myself as a stylist. And I think session styling from that day is something I'd definitely love to consider.
Yeah.
Amazing. And what
Yeah.
about yourself, Verity?
I mean, because obviously I do a lot of colour. It's completely different for me. That's probably the first time I've ever really done like a hair up, that sort of thing. So you have not out your depth, but it's quite good to be out your comfort zone a little bit. It was quite good because obviously we had Lee and Paul, so we had two. Paul was absolutely amazing. I feel like, and I now follow him on Instagram, and he does like free lives and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's just staying in contact with people like that. The GHD Academy as well is unreal because we had obviously like the open plan, all glass outside sort of thing. So it was cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, like, I think the biggest thing for us is kind of to mix up the spaces. I think for me, especially the way I tick fit, and I want you guys to experience it as well. I think we want to move it every single month, so it feels
Yeah.
fresh, and the environment needs to inspire you as well. You need to
Yeah.
feel creative, especially when we're doing stuff like that. But I agree. I think that day was really a massive. I was glad it was an eye opener to you guys because it was quite. He really went into detail. He didn't sugarcoat anything. It was very much about session. It's not easy to do, is it? It's not
Yeah.
even by all means. It wasn't
No.
easy. He did a lot of stuff for free. It's just for me. Even what I got out of it is you have to be committed to your craft and give up your time and immerse yourself in whatever it is they're asking of you.
I remember when
It's
Lee
crazy.
said, yeah, and Lee said about obviously things can be last minute. He was saying might get a call that day and he's got a client and he has to shoot off. So it's quite interesting hearing stories like that and how
Yeah, I think
Yeah, it
the
is.
have to really be invested.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
So
the commitment
how do
was
you
a
think
big
you
sort
would?
of wake up call.
So how would you run that then, April? Because you're in a salon. So if you wanted to dabble in kind of like session, how would you go about it? What points did you get from him? Key points that you thought actually that's what I need to do to go, not to go completely into that, but just to make yourself available and stuff.
Yeah, I think yeah, like you say, I think when he was talking, the commitment was what came across as like the most important thing. And obviously, like you say, being employed by a salon, most of the time your full commitment is there, of course. But I think the best advice he sort of gave was obviously if this is a route you really want to go down, it is a part of getting yourself out there and showing how much you really want it. So getting like an
Mm,
agency or being signed up to them sort of companies, and obviously, he said it doesn't take just once. You really need to keep trying if it's really what you want. And I think, like he said, it's structure. So it's working out your holiday allowance and obviously saving that for the
yeah,
certain times of year that you know them jobs are going to be popular and you're going to be wanted. And I think if you're really committed, you're going to obviously invest your time into the right things. And I think if them opportunities come your way, and I think I'm lucky enough to have a really supportive salon, and they're obviously aware of the way that the hairdressing world can work. So I think if you are committed to what you do, and this is only going to benefit yourself and your salon, to be honest, I think the way you can work around it and use your holiday and use your time wisely, it can work both ways, which he did prove.
Yeah, yeah, true. And
absolutely.
he was saying about
I just
things like Fashion Week. Sorry.
no, go on, go on.
He was saying like obviously Fashion Week and things which might obviously be coming up. He'd already booked that time out, even though he's not been asked, just in case.
Absolutely. See, the great thing I got off both the points is absolutely you gotta prepare. So like everyone knows when Fashion Week is. So if you are keen, you do book the time out. So you are saying you want that's your commitment on that front. And the other thing what I thought was really interesting what you said April was the salon you work at is supportive of that. And I know Martin Holmes is very much he's a man of the industry, and
Yeah.
same with Matthew. They're very you work for great bosses who have put themselves out there in that STEM situations as well, so they get it, which I think is really important. And I think that's one of the biggest things that I think for especially you guys, you've been in the salon that it's encouraging you to really push yourself and really find your potential and really express yourself creatively. So I think that was a really really good point made on both fronts. But yeah, good answers, girls, aren't you? Two are
Yeah.
very good, aren't you?
Thanks.
So
Thanks.
so I just want to attract as well. Obviously, we've been in lockdown for a while now. Um, so what
Two
what kind of
months.
platforms have you? I know. So I just wondered what kind of platforms you've been kind of you found inspiring or is keeping you motivated. Have your salons done anything? Have you conducted meetings, etc. So April, do you want to go and elaborate on what you've been doing in these 2 months really to keep yourself
Yeah.
in touch with the industry?
Yeah, sure. So I think obviously hair wise, we always want to be busy and it's weird to not have time to ourselves, to be honest. So the main things I've been doing is, of course, using the most of the live videos throughout Instagram and any sort of tutorials that are out there to share. I think obviously the fellowship in itself has been amazing for that. Each week it's really nice to have fresh faces on our screen and get new feedback and obviously, yeah, just good videos from different people. I think they've been really inspiring. At home, I've just been using like a head block and been doing like my sister's hair just to sort of keep on top of what I love. And obviously, anything that we're learning from these videos, I can then sort of work on and experience at home before we're able to take any of this back to the salon. My salon we're always in touch during the week and we have been doing like weekly Zoom calls, which is really nice just to see each other's faces, obviously get anything off our chest that we want to share as a team, but to also just experience lockdown together really. And the last week, we actually, as a team, we downloaded the post Corona course from Not Another Salon. So for the last few days, that's kept me busy and actually has really opened my mind as to going back to work and sort of the feelings that we're all going to share and experience after lockdown.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Verity?
I feel like I've had some time off as well. I think it's quite nice to have time off from your phone. Not thinking about hair as well. I think that's quite a good option.
Yeah.
I've got 2 head blocks at home which I've ordered off Pivot Point, which are great. One's a light one, one's a dark one, so I'm going to do a few different colours on that. I'm with MOB, which is Master of Balayage, so I do all my trading now through them. We do lives as well, and we have group meetings once or twice a week. And then just keeping in contact with Tim, like we're like a family as well, and we've got a WhatsApp group. I know some of the juniors have been doing like FaceTimes with my bosses, with head blocks and that sort of thing, and just keeping all connected. But these lives are great at the moment. I feel like it was a big thing before, but it's massive now. I feel like everyone's doing them. So there's more options out there to see what you want to learn.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we've been
Yeah.
doing the same really. We have the regular meetings. I mean, I've done a few tutorials as well. But
Yeah.
there is a lot
They're
of
great
content
then.
out
I've
there,
seen
isn't
it.
there?
Yeah, I've seen them.
There is a oh, thank you, thank you. But there is a lot of content. I kind of think, I mean, just me being me, I'm always kind of looking, not the devil's advocate, but I always like to think when something's done so much, I'm quite looking forward to, you know, that not being the norm anymore. So I just think, I
Yeah.
think hands-on
Yeah.
will be for me will be a great thing to get a room, like get back in the room with you guys and really just have that communication and have that face-to-face sort of interaction again and working on dull heads together and express each other in the flesh,
Yeah.
which would be quite nice.
It's
But
really
yeah, I
interesting
agree.
you said that,
Yeah, I
because
do. I
I
just
would
think
think
that
it'd be
because
more lives, but
yeah,
I
see,
think it's great.
I mean, maybe it's something that I'm just hoping to promote, like, because I know
Yeah.
before obviously before this has happened, this pandemic, digital is growing and always will be. I mean, it will always be there. But I think that classes have found it quite difficult, especially being part of a product company like when I'm with Sebastian and Weller. Filling the classes has been quite difficult now because you've got the digital platform, right? But I just think because we've
Yeah.
had so much of it, hopefully it will level it out a little bit more. The digital will never
Yeah.
go, and I think it's amazing. But me as an artist, it's quite nice to hope maybe
Yeah.
that
That's something which has never
people.
probably crossed my mind and a few other people's that, because I'd always be thinking, right, I need to start stepping up my game online, but actually it could be the opposite, so that's good.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah,
Because
I hope
there's
so.
nothing like being in front of a class of other
Yeah.
students and stuff. It's
Yeah. We're used to
that's
being
kind of how I
sociable,
feel
aren't
about it.
we?
And people do
Exactly.
travel.
Yeah, they do. Well, they will be wanting to now because they've been locked up for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, guys, I want to ask you.
Yeah.
So, obviously, this got cut short the project text, but like we say, we're going to be starting again. What kind of plans did you have for the year, like creatively or personally within yourself, within your salons and stuff? Rosie, what kind of did you have any goals set out on the back end of yourself being on Project X?
Yeah. The
Personal
first thing,
things,
obviously,
yeah.
when lockdown was announced, I just thought, oh my God, we're not doing Salon International. I thought that's a massive thing for all of
Oh, of
us.
course, yeah.
And to do together, I'm sad, but hopefully that's on next year.
Yeah,
So that is something what I really looked forward to and still will. But yeah, that's about it really. I've just enjoyed the whole thing.
amazing. April?
I think the same really. And for me, I obviously haven't experienced too much as of yet, but competition work is something that I'm really interested and would really like to develop on. So I think these teams really help sort of find confidence and the way to sort of get there in the end. And I think the days that we had planned with you and hopefully will continue next year, I think the sort of photo shoot experiences and things like that will really help to sort of develop and sort of grow within that sort of area. And I think, like Verity said, for me, last year was the first time I experienced salon international, and for me that sort of buzz and vibe and the way that sort of helped me as a stylist, I was really looking forward to that. And I think as a team, that whether it be like next year, I think that will really help us sort of find ourselves and get that buzz. I think we was also, even with from little things like the presentation, we was all nervous, but I think them things are actually, as a hairdresser, what we grow from, and actually where we find our true selves within the presentation sort of side of things.
It's true. I
Yeah,
just feel like we're
absolutely.
so lucky to have Angelo as a mentor, because obviously you've won a lot of competitions. You've obviously got skills and, you know, that sort of thing behind you. So you're great to mentor us with photo shoots, to know which models to go for, photography, the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, listen, guys, I'm all about you guys. Like you were kind of like my, yeah, my not children because we're obviously the same age,
Children.
but like you're like my little family because what the biggest message for the project text for me and what I wanted to get out was to make you not the complete hairdresser, but really give you every sort of information that's allowed me to be successful. So breaking everything down, like as you know, the project text, it was very much about skill set, even entrepreneurity. So we're talking about things to express yourself creatively in other avenues as well. Bringing people in like Lee, who's doing session work, giving you a real insight into what the industry has to offer as a whole. That was really important. And we had 2 photo shoots we was going to do. We was obviously doing the show at Salon International. Then we had our show at the end of the year, which we was really going to come at a different sort of approach that had not been done before. Like it was just going to absolutely go off, which would have been amazing. Kind of wanted to condense everything I've done in 10 years and give it you in a year, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
And I
If
So
it's
feel like
that's
we
kind of
possible.
feel
like
that
that.
off you. We know how
Yeah.
committed you are to this for
So
us.
that's what it was, and we will continue that. So don't worry, that will happen, and I'm excited for you guys to all be on board as well. So
Hopefully there's not a second
just
wave next year.
Oh
oh
no.
god, I know because there is
Going on
talk
till
about that, isn't there?
2025.
Jeez,
Yeah.
I hope not, because I've heard that there's going to be something like well, I don't know if this is right, like 4 months on and
Yeah.
then 4 months off.
Oh
Oh my
no.
God.
I
Can
don't,
you imagine?
have you heard that?
Yeah.
No, I actually
So
haven't.
no, so
Hopefully
I
not.
don't know if that's just hearsay.
I'm going to pretend I haven't
Hopefully
heard
not.
Um,
that because I don't want that to happen.
yeah, don't.
We'll get our maths on, we'll be fine.
So guys, we're gonna wrap up. It's been amazing, but I just wanted to hear a little bit about how would you recommend the fellowship and why would you do that for anyone to get involved in the fellowship, product X, any of the courses or any of the teams that you've previously been on, just to hear a little bit about that really. April?
Yeah, of course. I literally would 100% recommend the fellowship. There is no reason why I wouldn't. I think it is the best sort of platform for anyone to grow upon, as well as having that normal day-to-day salon life. I think, speaking from experience and only being 20 when I first joined the Club Star Art team, in a year, I can't believe what a difference it's made to myself and my career so far. And I think with the amount of teams that the fellowship has to offer, it is a journey that you can really sort of step out in your hairdressing career. And I think if you are passionate enough and you are willing to put in the time, it is the best sort of platform to go from. And even though it's only once a month, them 12 days as a team and the extra added ones added on, you gain so much within a year, and them things that you sort of can't even imagine how they benefit you in that sort of way. And I think just even being a part of a team really changes you as a person, and the people you meet can only make that journey better and obviously help you throughout the way.
Oh, Angelo
Yeah,
looks like he's gonna
absolutely.
cry now. He's emotional.
No, it's because I want to touch on it because I do feel like April, the way you're going, I see you as a fame team. I've said this to you before. There's quite a few in the team that I expect to get in the fame team. I really do. Like I just if the way you present yourself and the way you dedicate to the industry, there's no reason why you shouldn't be in the fame team. And
I
I'm
think it's
here to
such a
make sure you get on
I
that.
think it's yeah, I think it's such a big goal, but such a great goal that anyone being a part of the fellowship can have to aim for, like towards the end, if that makes sense. I think it's such a big step, but
Absolutely.
something that anyone can go for, and actually it's such a good thing to sort of aim for, and obviously look up to all the people along the way, which helps.
So guys, thank you so much for today. I've been truly inspired, and I'm sure everyone else has been truly inspired as well. So wish you guys all the best. Stay
Yeah,
positive, stay strong, keep
Definitely.
learning,
and
and
hopefully
we'll
see you
catch
all
up soon.
soon.